Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange. I can't even look at the guy.
To be honest, I think his performance was so good that it was bad for his career.
Kathy Bates in Misery.
She was absolutely terrifying. The contrast with her films such as Fried Green Tomatoes, where her character is really sweet, is pretty amazing. She's not typecast.
Matthew Lillard as Shaggy.
It's so ridiculous to me they wanted to give Freddie Prinze Jr. more money to return as Fred than they were willing to pay Matthew Lillard for Shaggy. Who the fuck cares about Fred? Sure, he is in the gang, but those movies are 60% just Scooby and Shaggy.
Stanley Tucci in The Lovely Bones. Took me forever to get that creepy-ass character out of my head whenever I saw him.
Conversely, he played a dad everyone would probably want as their dad in Easy A. Edit. My deepest thank you to the person who thought I deserved Argentium. I've never received it before and might never receive it again, but at least, on my deathbed, I can look back over my life and say, I once received Argentium. It is truly an honor and you, my friend, made it so.
Glenn Howerton as Dennis Reynolds.
I am not allowed to eat it with the skin. I am not allowed.
John Hader cannot undo Napoleon Dynamite.
I see you're drinking 1%. Is that because you think you're fat? 'Cause you're not. You could be drinking whole if you wanted to.
Ralph Fiennes in Schindler's List. Terrified me. He disappeared into the role, too. Same in Red Dragon. Dude is so convincingly crazy in that movie. One of my favorites.
Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. He is also incredible in the first season of Westworld.
Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler.
I always found his face to be unnerving, and when I saw him in that movie suddenly it all made sense. He was born for that role. John Lithgow in that one season of Dexter. I can't look at him the same anymore. He creeps me out.
I remember how funny he was in Third Rock, and I think he was on a documentary expressing his fascination with break dancing. His performance in Dexter really took me aback. Didn't know he had that in him.
The pedo dude in Prison Break.
You know what? I haven't thought about Prison Break in years, and now that you've brought it up, you're absolutely right.
Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. I couldn't watch him in another movie for years, because I hated his character so freaking much. Rolling on the floor laughing.
Same here. That's the first film I remember seeing him in. For a very long time after when I saw him I'd be like, oh, that's the guy that played that dickhead Commodus. The busy little beeline still gives me chills.
Sam Rockwell in most of his roles. To me as a kid, he was the most convincing character in The Green Mile, and Tom Hanks was the lead in that movie.
Moon and Galaxy Quest my favorites for him.
Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh.
Greater than Javier Bardem as Anton Chigurh. His hair in that role was equally terrifying.
John Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane. PTSD activated.
Jesus, that film was fucked up. Almost made me rethink me. No trailers rule. Bryan Cranston as Walter White. Also the guy that played Tuco.
Tight, tight, tight. Giancarlo Esposito as Gus in Breaking Bad. He was brilliantly evil.
Yes. Just rewatching the 5th season of BCS before the finale drops next week, and he is amazing. Love the way he transitions from cheerful, helpful pillar of the community to seriously scary mastermind who would have you killed without a second thought if you got in his way just by dropping his smile.
Christian Bale from American Psycho.
Interesting. And #X200B. And #X200B. And #X200B. And #X200B. Let's see Paul Allen's opinion.
Andy Serkis. LOTR Gollum.
Andy Serkis is just overall outstanding. From LOTR to Planet of the Apes to Marvel, he's impressive.
Christian Bale in The Machinist. https://www.imdb.com/title/TT03618662/. Dude almost died.
His repeated weight gain, loss makes him great in his roles, but can't be good for his health. ripped in American Psycho to stick thin in The Machinist to ripped in Batman Begins greater than skinny in Rescue Dawn to ripped in The Dark Knight to skinny in The Fighter to ripped in Dark Knight Rises to fat in American Hustle to ripped in Exodus to fat in Vice. Forgot a few more.
Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl. Talented, gorgeous actor and I cannot unsee her as terrifying and calculating.
Hated her in I Care a Lot. But her portrayal, resting bitch face in Wheel of Time fits the A's set A.
Catherine O'Hara in Schitt's Creek. I have no idea how she managed to make everything consistently over the top and yet still not turn her character into a despicable self-parody, of a parody of a spoilt millionaire wife. Edit. Whoa, my first ever awards. Thank you everyone. Purple Heart.
Bebe.
J. K. Simmons from Vern Schillinger in Oz to back as J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. I never seen a role that man didn't do amazing in.
Scary as hell in Whiplash 2. Joffrey Lannister, whatever his name is. I saw him in London last week, and I've got to say he's a really nice guy. Humble as fuck and has a rockin' mustache.
Christoph Waltz as Colonel Hans Landa in Inglourious Bastards.
Tarantino once said in an interview that he wouldn't have made this movie without a convincing Landa. Waltz does speak several languages in reality and was the perfect fit. You could say he made the movie possible.
I know Billy Bob Thornton is an amazing actor, with a good range and dedication to the craft. But when that man plays an alcoholic asshole, it's downright Shakespearean.
Try him in Sling Blade. He was really good in that.
Hugh Laurie as House. This man is the character.
But have you seen him in Blackadder?